Hi guys, it's Des from with Books and Stuff. I'm here with my friend Tammy, and we
Hi.
just got off the Icon of the Seas. So we are going to talk to you about our vacation, what we liked, what we didn't like. I'm going to compare it to the Disney cruise that I took, and you took the.
I took a cruise on the Grandeur of from Royal Caribbean.
So she's going to compare it to that. So let's start off by saying we flew from Philadelphia Airport, which is huge, and the securities measures are a lot different in the Philadelphia airport than they are in the Fort Lauderdale airport. Um, Whether or not you have to take your Kindle out of your bag or your electronics out and do separate bins for different things, it's all a little different in every airport you go to. We did fly into Fort Lauderdale, and we stayed at the La Quinta Hotel at Fort Lauderdale Airport, which was really nice. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
There was a place that you could walk across the street to. They had shops. They had places to eat. We ate a cute little diner, maybe a mile down the road. But they will shuttle you there and take you back to the hotel. We chose to walk.
They also, sorry.
Go ahead.
They also have a nice little courtyard that we got to enjoy, and our room happened to overlook the lake that was on the property, and we got to see the sunrise. So beautiful scenery, depending on which side of the hotel you are in.
And we had a continental breakfast there that was pretty good, I
Oh,
thought.
yes.
It had eggs and everything else. So then they took us back to the Fort Lauderdale airport where we got the shuttle from Royal Caribbean. They will take you from, I think it's Fort Lauderdale and Miami, that they will get you and take you to the port and bring you back for a fee. I don't know what that fee is, and I'm sure it changes all the time, but they will do that for you. The La Quinta Hotel will also take you to the Miami port for $25 a person, I think their sign said.
Yes. At this time, it's $25 a person.
At this point, right. So that was, like I said, the Quinta Hotel was amazing. I really enjoyed it. I stayed there before in Orlando, and it was very nice, very clean, very comfortable. I would definitely stay there again.
Yeah, I would stay there again too.
So then we got onto the Icon of the Seas. So the pictures and the videos that, if you guys have seen them, does not do this ship justice at all. It is huge. When we got on, we went to our muster station. That took maybe 5 minutes. I recommend definitely doing that when you first get on any ship if it allows you to. That way you don't forget, because they will keep reminding you.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a couple of videos we had to watch.
Yeah, yeah. And I will say I like the way Royal Caribbean did the muster station on the Icon of the Seas. When I went on my first cruise, we sailed out of Baltimore, and this was pre-COVID days, and they had us all gather in our muster area.
Yes, that's how it was with the Disney one too,
Yeah.
pre-COVID.
And it was very crowded. Here you just go in, you give them your pass, and they go over the guidelines, the rules, the instructions on what to do in case there's an emergency. And you're not body to body crowded in someplace with a bunch of other people.
And they scan your pass, so they know who did it and who didn't do it. So it makes it very simple. And they will not sail until everybody has done it. So, they had plenty of photo opportunities. Like we got on, and there was a big picture of the ship that we could stand in front of and do photos. So they have photographers everywhere. So do keep that in mind. That, like, travel day, I like to be comfortable, so I don't usually wear, a fancy dress or even dress up at all. I want to be in very comfortable stuff. Do keep that in mind when you're going on. There will be pictures immediately before you even hit the ship to do. And there's photographers everywhere. So, when you get up in the morning and you're dressing or anything like that, that is something to be aware of. So
When we boarded, after all the picture taking and stuff, I was just amazed by the iconic nature of this ship and feeling just a little overwhelmed at everything that we got to see right away. All the shops, all the crew members, and every single crew member greeted us. They were friendly. They had smiles on their face.
they were dancing.
Yes, yeah, and that was actually very fun to watch them dance, and just an entertaining way to welcome us aboard the ship.
And if you're somebody like Tammy, they do have a Starbucks on the ship. so you can have your Starbucks. So after we did our muster thing, I think we went and we got something to eat. We went to the Windjammer, I think it was,
Yes.
which is a big buffet of stuff.
And huge buffet. There were like 5 or 6 different stations.
There was something for everybody. If
Yes.
you're a vegetarian, if you like seafood, if you like burgers and hot dogs, you know, if you have kids, chicken fingers, if you want like something more substantial, like, you know, big meals, you could have got anything at the Windjammers.
Yeah.
It was huge. And after we were done eating, I think that, but we were, by the time we were able to check into our room, they had the keys outside the room, and you just scan it in, and almost everything was contactless, except for the elevators that you hit the button on the outside of the elevator. You hit the room you want to go to, it tells you what letter to go to, and then you get in the elevator and it takes where you need to go. But bathrooms, the public bathrooms, you wave your hand and the doors open. Hand sanitizers are right around the
Elevators.
Thank you,
Yeah.
elevators. Washing stations at the quick service restaurants. So very, very clean, and like plenty of sanitation for anybody who's like worried about that or anything else. There's plenty of opportunities that if you don't do it, it's pretty much your own fault.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, I don't know how else to put that. So we got to our rooms, and I think my luggage was there and yours wasn't. So I
Right.
unpacked mine and put the suitcase away. And then did we just explore, I think?
Yeah, we just went off, explored, looking at different
Right.
wonders that they had for us, the pools, you know, just kind of got a layout of the land.
And I can tell you, I think we finally figured out on our last day, it was only a 3-day cruise, when we got off of an elevator or whether or not we were on the right side or not, and how to get to the room. It is huge. It is like, definitely took 15-20 minutes to walk from one end of the ship to the other end.
Yeah, I was just going to share with the elevator that you just said. There's a forward elevator and an aft elevator, and they have artwork as you're getting off the elevators. And I learned to look for, I called it graffiti. I'm not sure the proper name of this particular type of artwork. And then I knew that we were on the right end of the ship to go to our room.
Yes. Yeah, we finally, like I said, by the 3rd day, knew exactly how to get to our room if we were on the opposite end. So day 2, we were a perfect day at Coco Cay. We did the Hideaway, which is the new adult-only beach.
Security advisory.
Sorry, we're at the airport.
For your safety, please do not leave baggage unattended. Unattended baggage will be removed and may be discarded. All persons must maintain control of their personal property, including carry-on baggage and checked baggage, to avoid transporting items without your knowledge. Carrying firearms to
Okay, sorry about that. I think they're done now with the announcements. I should say, before we went to the Hideaway on Perfect Day at Coco Cay, we did go and hit out a couple shops, because the one thing I forgot was my flip-flops. I packed and unpacked my suitcases like 3 times, and somehow they got left behind, so I needed to buy a pair of flip-flops. And the shops were really cute. I thought the way they had them set up, and everybody was super friendly. I ended up buying a bag and flip-flops, but I thought it was super cute.
Yeah. And I will say I was surprised at some of the stuff they had there as well, because they had Christmas ornaments as a souvenir that you could purchase, toys for the kids, stuffed animals, and then of course your magnets and cups.
And I think I saw some like little sand toys and stuff too.
Yeah.
And that was at the other end, so we got to go and walk that way, and then we did choose to walk to the Hideaway Beach, which again is the new adult-only section of the island. They do have a tram that will take you back and forth as well. We chose to walk it. I don't think it took us that long, maybe half hour,
Oh, I think 15 to 20 minutes.
maybe. And we stopped a lot. We're taking pictures and checking things out. It was a beautiful walk, and it was nice. They'll scan your pass to go in, because you have to, that is one thing you do need to, it's like an excursion, you do need to pay extra for that, and you need to reserve that. So we did that. We started with the Xfinity pool, where you can sit and put your feet in water. However, that only works if you're really, really tall at that section where we were at.
Yeah.
And we were more sitting in a little bit of water. Our feet didn't touch it. But it was nice to sit there with your drink. And they had a swim up bar. And the really cool thing about that is there was stools in the water that you could sit at the bar in the water. um,
Yeah. And the pool area also had two little areas. Like if you wanted to sit on the special chair, you could do that, or you could go into the pool and go to the other side, and then there was an area with benches so that you could sit on the bench, but your legs, your waist legs are in the water and your torso is out of the water. And it provided shade because there were palm trees overhead, and some other plant life behind us. And then there was the wall that looked out onto the ocean.
yes.
I don't know what that's called, do you?
I don't know what that was called either.
Okay.
But you could stand in the pool, and the wall was there, and it like was overflowing with the water, and you could look out over the ocean, and then down below where the beach was, and you could walk around the whole area. So like you get up, go down, you could walk around the whole area. A lot of people were in the water with drinks. I will say, we were there early, like 10ish, 9:30, 10ish,
Yeah.
and the music at that time of morning was like really techno, which I thought was way too early to be playing that. That's more like a dance music, and that early in the morning, you just want to kind of relax a little bit. That's more for like an evening thing. But then the music did mellow out a little
Yes.
bit as the day went. So we sat there for maybe an hour or two, and then we went and we got something to eat. They have like a little stand there, and the food there was really good as well.
Yeah, it was very good. And I was surprised about the desserts because they had funnel cake,
Yes,
brownies, cookies,
Yes.
and everything was,
delicious.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And it tasted homemade, even
Yes,
though it
and the
probably
funnel cake
not.
was like really small, so it was a perfect for one person.
Yes.
And then we went over and we hung out on the beach and at the ocean part. The ocean water was gold, but it was still cool. And it's the nice thing is it doesn't have the waves that will knock you down. Like it was coming up over the shore, but it's not like at the beach where it's like ready to knock you down and push you out. I only went out a little bit. I get nervous because I never know when anything's going to drop. But you know, it was very, very cool to do that. I actually fell asleep on the beach reading my book.
Yeah. And the nice thing is they had hammocks
Yes.
that you could have sat in a hammock. They had cabanas. I'm sure those are an extra fee.
I'm sure they are.
And different types of beach chairs and lots and lots and lots of umbrellas.
And yes, and the lounges are very comfortable. They're not that plastic ones that stick to your legs and then give you the little tic-tac-toe marks all over your back of your legs. All the lounges that we sat on the chairs we sat on, everything was super comfortable. It was a nice material.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. And there was a bar there too. And the bar had padded cushions for you to sit on, and high tables, high chairs, or a table that you could just stand at too if you wished.
And I think we sat at like a lower table, like a picnic table type thing. And then we were kind of trying to make sure we were back in time. Our phones were being very weird with times, so we never knew what time it was, especially hers. Hers was on like Finland time or something.
Yeah.
So we got back to the ship. We thought we were going back around 3. We ended up going back around 2. But we did do like the adult part of the hideaway there. We checked out the Xfinity pool. The hot tubs, yes.
Yeah.
And we did walk around to the other pool areas. We did not get to experience any of them. Again, 3 days is not nearly enough time to experience this huge of a ship.
Yeah. But the pools did have live entertainment.
Yes.
I remember the one had a band playing.
And one's like a DJ.
Yes.
Yes.
And the kids pool, we looked at that. That looked like so much fun. And then it had a water park on it also, or water slides.
Yes, it's like a big water park. Is that Chill Island or Thrill Island? I'm not sure. I think it was Thrill Island. When we first got there, it was thundering because it was like a Category 6 hurricane thing. But they had the water slides, which we did not get a chance to do. I think there was only one that both of us thought we'd probably be able to do. And it's like in an inner tube. And then there was one that you had this mat and you laid down your stomach and went down. And another one that just dropped you. And then they have the crown. That is an extra fee as well to do, but you are hooked up to it, and you're walking around this outside, and like walking the plank almost, and then you drop off and it spins you. I don't know what that fee is because it did come up, but then there was a little bit of uncertainty exactly what that fee was. But apparently they take your video of you doing it and a picture, so you get all kinds of different things with that fee. We watched it. We both had flip-flops on. We didn't have sneakers on to do it, and I don't think I would be able to do that.
And I was disappointed because I did not bring sneakers along. I brought sandals and flip-flops and then Dockers, but you really need something that's going to tie, and I did not have that type of sneaker. But I was excited and I wanted to try it because it looked like a lot of fun. And if you're able to find a YouTube video to watch it,
Yes.
because you can see, and you're walking on the very top of the ship and walking the plank, and then it gives out. So
And
it
I'm not
looked
sure
like a
I
lot of
took a
fun.
video of it because for me to take a video, I've been taking a video of somebody else doing it that I don't know, and I didn't want to infringe on anybody's privacy. I think we forgot, like, the rooms are phenomenal. I did post a picture of our room, our video of our room, and I did of the accessible room. But the rooms have like plenty of storage. They have little bins. They have, even the bathroom has like a drawer that pops out, and the door kind of swings like this, and the towels are in the shower, but they never get wet. It was
Yeah.
like amazing, and the shower was so nice. Water pressure, hot water, everything was phenomenal. We did an 8:30 dining and main dining. They changed the menu every day. We did have the same wait staff because it was at the same table. And I thought all the food was pretty good. Everywhere we tried to sample all the places to eat, even if it was just one little thing. So on the third day when we were walking around everywhere, we'd find a place past one and we would just grab something there and to eat. The one thing I will say about the main dining is, yes, the food is included in your cruise, but they also have a premium section that if you want any of those things, they are an extra charge.
And there's only one menu choice. There's no selecting
Yes.
from different options. It's just one menu.
Yes, and when they come out, they'll have the chef special, or like the chef's recommendations at the top. They have appetizers of maybe 4 or 5.
Oh, I think we're talking about different restaurants then.
The main dining.
Oh, yeah, I was talking about the other one.
Oh,
So, sorry.
the main. So I think there's like a selection of, I don't know how many appetizers, then your main courses, and then your desserts. And when you order your appetizer, your main meal, and your dessert all at the same time, and then they bring it out to you in segments. But again, they do have a premium section that if you want like something a little more upscale, I guess, you do pay extra for those items. And it will tell you there, it'll say premium, it'll tell you what the prices are underneath them.
Yeah.
I'm
And-
not sure how I feel about that. I feel like when I went on the Disney cruise, they had the specialty restaurants, which Royal Caribbean does as well. They have quite a few extra ones, but you do pay for those restaurants, and you know that going in if you want to do that. All the food was included in my Disney package, my Disney cruise. And this one, like I said, they have the main dining rooms, and then they charge you for certain items. And room service is another thing. They will charge you for room service. They have a continental breakfast that just has like pastries, and there's no eggs or anything like that on there. If you get that, there is a charge. And for lunch or dinner, if you do room service, there is a charge. For the Disney cruise, all of that was included. There were certain items on the room service that you had to pay for, but for the most part, everything was included. So I'm not sure how I feel about that section when they have the specialty diners that you can pay for, having to have you pay for things on a menu. I'm a little torn on that one. I don't really know how I feel about that.
Yeah, and I think it depends on what you're looking for. Like if you're looking for the experience, then it's a good thing. But you are talking upscale food, and it's definitely a black dress and a nice, like, I don't think you would wear jeans in there.
Yeah, like,
T-shirt.
Everything was casual for us on a 3-day, but it is normally going to be a 7-day cruise. So definitely the main dining is not. It's. I'm sure they have the casual days and a formal day, but I did feel like it was more of a formal restaurant.
Yes. So I think you would have to decide if you want the experience, then you're going to be willing to pay that extra. But if you don't want the experience, then it's not for you.
Right. The shops that were on the ship were very cool. I mean, there was something for everybody. They had, the one thing I will tell you, if you forget something like toothpaste or toothbrush, very oddly, there's a liquor, like a merchant store, which is like has alcohol in it and like cigarette stuff, and in the all the way in the back in the corner is where they have those essential items, which I thought was very odd because it's like you're gonna send your kid down to get something out of them, give them the card and say, hey, go get toothpaste. They gotta go in there to get it, or they shouldn't be. And so I thought that was a very odd place to put something like that, where like the Disney cruise had a section in like their main store that had a big section with all the medicines and stuff like that in it that you would need, and this is just like a little section in the back of where they sell alcohol and cigarettes, which I just thought was odd. But they had like designer purses, they had just the shop for like merchandise for Royal Caribbean, they had jewelry stores, they had everything.
Yeah, everything. And there were shops in many different levels, because I remember the watches, fine jewelry,
Yes.
Your typical souvenir store with hats and t-shirts and that sort of stuff. I can't even think of the other stuff.
Okay, I think they're done with the announcements now. So, okay, we're gonna try this again. So I think we pretty much covered everything except for the main thing, entertainment. So we did do all the shows with the exception of the adult comedy show. And then we did snippets, like it had the dueling pianos, and that was really cool because it was a male and female and they were playing the pianos and they took requests and they sang and they were really good. We didn't get tons of time in there, but
yeah. They also had the moving pianists. In the evenings, you might be at the elevators on the outside waiting to get one, and he's just out there playing, and then he moves his piano to a different floor, and he'll play there.
and he was in the elevator the last night.
He was in the elevator. He was at the Pearl, so that was pretty cool.
Yes. So we did try to catch some of that. We didn't get to do all the concerts, and we didn't get to go to the dance, do any dancing like we wanted to. We were just way too tired. But so their show on the Icon of the Seas is The Wizard of Oz.
We will not do it justice.
Yes, we're not going to do it justice at all. But I like that they had there. Apparently, and you'd have to do your research on this. I have not researched it. That there was a part of the movie that was taken out where the jitterbug is what was sent to which was sending to Dorothy in the Haunted Forest. So the Icon of the Seas has brought that scene back in, which was really cool. But it was phenomenal. Now on the Disney cruise I did, which was the Fantasy, that was Aladdin, and I gotta say, I really think the Icon of the Seas, as far as the Broadway style show, top Disney. And that's saying something because Disney it's Disney. But I do think that this show was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. The director's name, his last name was Weir, W-E-I-R, but I don't remember his first name. But he has taken entertainment to a completely different level. The Wizard of Oz, and he's the one that choreographed, designed, got into the research to do all of this. The Wizard of Oz is, again, phenomenal. It uses moving digital screens to change the background. The actors and actresses are on wires and they come down from the ceiling, or they get pulled up into
Or they're
the
flying
scene.
over your head.
Yes. And they did have moving parts for this, like the bed. The bed was moving and they had to move that off stage. So it's just amazing at how they're using the 3D and the digital screens and the wires, and the actors and actresses have to be able to,
Maneuver around it all.
yeah.
Yeah, and the theater is huge. So you can go in on deck 4 or deck 5. So it is like a 2-story thing. So you can have like balcony seating, you can have lower seating. And when you're sitting in the seats that are very comfortable, they're cup holders, which you can like put your soda in. But if you have like a wine glass or a martini glass, there's a slit in there that you can put your cup through, and it'll hold it. And it is really cool, and you just like slide it through, and it holds your drink for you. And I thought that was super, super cool.
And can
What?
the other thing, when Mr. Were spoke to us and explained choreographing and everything that he's done for his entertainment for us, he said that he has the largest stage to have his performers perform on.
It's bigger than Broadway.
Yep. And he gave us like 130, 131 feet is what he told us. And he said that his stage is larger than Broadway.
So the second show we did was called the Starburst Element Beauty on Ice. And so basically it took ballet and ice skaters and they put it all together. And that was absolutely amazing. Now, you know, I've seen Disney on Ice. I'm sure most of you have. I've never been to a live ice skating thing, but we've seen it on TV, figure skating, whatever else. This took it to a whole new level. It was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I did take a couple videos. They're very short videos that I might just do as a short and put up. I haven't decided yet because I don't know if there's a copyright issue there or not. So I don't know if we're allowed to or not, but it was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no other word for it, and we're never going to be able to do any of these shows justice, so I'll just let you know that.
And again, the digital element was there, the high wires were there, and they talked about the different elements found here on Earth and in space. And the Starman did this fantastic thing with balls of lights.
Juggling, yes,
and
the
the juggling. And he could juggle behind his back. I've never seen anybody that could do that. But juggling these balls behind his back was fantastic. And the stuff that the ice skaters did, I was having a conversation with Des about saying how much trust you have to have with your partner to do this, you know, have your partner picking you up and spinning you around. And it almost like the Olympics. It
And
was
you know
like
when I watch the
watching
figure skating, when they have them by the legs and they're spinning them and it looks like their head's going to hit
Oh,
the
I
ice,
know.
I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to knock them out. It scares me every
Yeah.
time. And The Wizard of Oz, just to jump back a little bit, I will tell you, I was crying. I had tears in my eyes, like crying. That's how good it was. And then the last show was the Aqua Theater, where it is synchronized swimming. It is diving. It is dancing. It is, I don't know. It was, I can't even,
Yeah. And again,
I have no words.
Mr. Were talked to us before and after this show, and this is the first ever dance in the air. He had a special name for the dance, but it's a couple dancing.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, back in the 1700s,
I
the
think it began with
performance.
a P, but I don't know what it was called.
Yeah, I don't remember
I'm not
either.
that big into the dancing thing.
But back in the 1700s, this type of dance started, and then came Disney on Ice, who then incorporated it into ice, and he is the first person to have the air dance, and it was so.
And I gotta tell you, when they were doing it in the air and there's all this water coming down, when they came out at the end, the woman had curly hair, but she had it pulled back, and I'm like, it didn't even look wet. And how does her hair not look like a drowned rat? That would look like a drowned rat.
Yeah.
Like I just couldn't. They were phenomenal.
Yeah. And I will say, after watching these shows, I definitely understand the name of the ship because it's called Icon of the Seas,
And this was
their
iconic.
shows were iconic.
So the staff, I know we kind of touched on that. The room attendant, phenomenal. And something I would like to bring up is, well, we didn't know this, but we were having some problems with the one outlet, and he was getting it fixed for us. And Tammy has a CPAP machine, and they brought a gallon of distilled water, and he said that's part of their service if you let them know. So if you have anything like any kind of machine or something that needs something like that, feel free to let them know because they will supply it for you.
Yeah. And the other thing I really appreciated him for is in our travels, I had a combination lock that I borrowed from Des. It worked at the house, it worked at La Quinta, but we got onto the cruise ship and we could not get it open. And I didn't change the combination at all. And he went above and beyond to help us and to get somebody into our room to try to open it. Unfortunately, they had to cut the lock off. But again, he was fantastic in helping us with whatever we needed.
So yes, so the room attendants, the wait staff, all the staff, the bartenders, everybody went above and beyond. You know, the maintenance guy who came into the room to cut the lock. Everybody went above and beyond to do whatever for us, and they were just super friendly. One thing I do want to note: if you take a cruise, whether it's the Icon of the Seas or anywhere that you're going to fly or be porting out of Miami, and you fly into Fort Lauderdale, it is about an hour drive. So when you're scheduling your reservations for your flights, make sure that you allow yourself enough time for that travel time. I wasn't aware it was that far. Luckily, our time for our plane was, late enough. We had plenty of time. We didn't have to worry about that. But that is something to consider. That is about an hour drive from Fort Lauderdale Airport to the Miami port. So that is something to consider. I think if I did it again, I would fly into Miami and be closer to that area.
Yeah.
They do have photo packages, and the photos are the ones that, like, we took our own photos throughout the whole ship of each other, of whatever. But the photos are top quality. I thought they got very good. And when they printed them out, because we did some print and then the digital as well, we paid for that package. And that's an add-on. It is a package. There are a lot of different add-ons you can do, and Perfect Day Coco Cay has quite a few excursions you can do. They have a water park on there as well. They have a private beach. They have now the adult-only beach. Then they have like swimming with pigs or glass bottom tour or snorkeling and kayaking and your basic stuff.
Yeah, and it looked like they had a hot air balloon too, because I remember watching the information on the TV in our room, and it said if you see this up in the air, come and visit us. But it was a windy day, so it was not there. It was not up in the air, but we could see it in the center of the islands.
Yes.
Waiting to be used.
And the app, you can do your room temperature. You can turn the lights on and off. You can turn the TV on and off and change the channel. You can do everything from your app. You can also have a chat feature there where you can chat with each other on the app. So the app is definitely, you want to download it, you want to use it. The compass of your daily activities, and the TV has, if you have it on the right channel, will tell you everything going on as well. So that is definitely something that is I thought the app was wonderful. It was very informative. You could go on and check everything. My phone was acting very weird. I went to guest services. They helped me with the app. They helped me set up the Wi-Fi. You can get the Wi-Fi. That's an extra fee as well. But, that's the extra fee, I think, on all cruise ships, because Disney, you can pay extra for that as well.
Yeah.
But definitely you want to check everything out. What Royal Caribbean doesn't do is, like with the Disney, your sodas were included. You just had to go up to the fountain soda at the pool deck. The only thing included for drink-wise is like juices and water. Like they have like little stations up. They have a soda package, and then they have an alcohol package. And the alcohol package is for everybody over the age of 21 in your room, unless you have some kind of medical things. There's like a couple exceptions, and you have to provide all kinds of documentation for that. So I do feel like you'd have to be a pretty big drinker to probably get the money's worth of the alcohol package. And if you're not, it's probably cheaper just to pay as you go. Soda package, again, I think that's like maybe $10 a day or something like that. Depends on if you're a big soda drinker or not. That would probably be worth it.
Yeah.
And I believe those packages also work on the island.
Yeah. And those packages are $10 per person per stateroom if you choose to go with it. And again, we don't have the alcohol package, and that is something different, because when I went on my first cruise ship, which was with Royal Caribbean, I got the soda package, and my daughter did not. So that is a change that they have made over the years.
Okay, well, we're going to sign off now because our flight's going to be leaving soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You all have a wonderful day.
All